Hello, I'm Obaya Ejapoma and I welcome you to today's program. It still says it all right here on City Star TV. If you haven't subscribed, kindly do so. Leave a comment and share for others to benefit. Today, I'm sharing with you 4 basic steps in breaking the poverty cycle. Are you sufficient? Can you provide adequately for yourself and loved ones? Or you are considered to be poor? That is never a yes. You don't have to consider yourself as a poor person. There is something you can do to change that situation. That is why I'm sharing this tip with you. 4 basic tips in breaking the poverty cycle. Tip number 1. Change of mindset. Someone will say, why poverty and mindset? Yes, the interpretation we give to things, what comes in our lives, the decision we take, and most of the things we do and experience in life is 80% dependent on our mindsets. Poverty and mindset. To even define yourself as a poor person depends on your mentality, what you believe in, and what you see ahead. In changing your mindset, 1, you have to change the blame game. Why blame game? Hey, I'm in this situation because of the government, because of the economy, because of the type of family I'm born into, because I'm not well educated, because I'm from a particular continent. No, if you do that, you don't see the need to be responsible. You don't see the essence in taking responsibility. You don't see the need to do something for yourself or to change that situation. So before you can break a poverty cycle, first of all, have a mind change. Stop the blame game. Take responsibility. No matter what, yes, there are people in this same continent, in this country, in this era that are doing well. What are they doing? Or what did they do? Okay, then you start putting measures in place. You start learning. You start like making plans on how and what to do to change your situation. So before you can break a poverty cycle, you have to have a mind change. Or yes, you have to have a mind change. And also stop the blame game. Still talking about the mindset. 2, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. After taking responsibility, after stopping the blame game, you then believe in yourself. Yes, I am who I am. I can do something for myself. No one is perfect. Yes, we all have our weaknesses. But ask yourself, yes, there are weaknesses. It means that there are some unique features about me as well. How can I use that uniqueness to achieve something for myself? And as soon as you believe that you can do something, you ask yourself, then what can I do? How do I do it? So if you ask yourself this question by believing in yourself, you take a bold decision and you start something. But if you believe that, no, my situation is because of the economy, because of the country, because of my tribe, because of my gender, hey, no, it doesn't work that way. You get to do something to your mind. Have a positive mindset. Number 3, still on the mindset. Know that failure is part of the journey. In every successful journey, there is an obstacle. So, if you start or you make plans and you make the first step, the second step, and things are difficult or things doesn't happen the way you were expecting, you already know that, hey, it's part of it. Failure is part of the story. So if I fail, I have to rather learn from it. Some failures and some obstacles gives us more experience It gives us exposure. And now we are not starting as a layman, we are starting as someone with experience, someone with some knowledge, okay? So after believing in yourself, stopping the blame game, you then tell yourself that, hey girl, hey boy, this is what I have to do to change this story. But it's possible I can fail. But failure doesn't bring anything to you. Failure has to rather push you to move further. Failure has to rather make you tough. You have to learn from failure. Failure can be a best teacher, It can teach you and teach you well. So you have to work on your mind if you really want to break a poverty cycle. Number 2 on the 4 tips I'm sharing with you today, be disciplined. Yes, without discipline, it is impossible to achieve your goals or your aims. You have to control your emotions. You have to control the body. Without self-discipline, our goals are already 90% in due. Under being disciplined, you have to be time conscious. You have to manage your time properly if you want to break a poverty cycle. If you follow the success story of most wealthy or well-to-do people in society, in your country, or even the world, most people will tell you, hey, I read a book each day, a book each week or each month. I wake up 3 a.m., I go to bed at 10 p.m. and all that. Okay, so it tells you that yes, they rest, they have fun, but they don't joke with their time. We all have 24 hours in a day, but someone will make huge out of that 24 hours as compared to the other. Why? It's all because of how we manage our time, how we program ourselves during that 24 hours. If you sleep more than you work, how do you break that poverty cycle? You don't sleep more than you work. So you have to manage your time. There's traffic going to work. So traffic will take 30 minutes or it will take 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You have to calculate the time, okay? You have to calculate and calculate well. And you also have to be financially disciplined. In all sectors of your life, you have to be disciplined. Financially, you are not financially you are not that wealthy. You also have to be financially disciplined. You have to be disciplined when it comes to finance. As soon as you get your first salary or your first wage, let me reward this body. No. How do you grow your finances then? How do you do that? So, being financially disciplined, you always have to have a budget, a written one. You have to have a budget. And always make sure you stick to that budget. And being financially disciplined, you don't purchase things because friends are doing so. Even there are certain things, if your body is craving for and you can't afford it, you have to control yourself. That is why we are talking about discipline. How you go about working. I have to work at this particular hour, and you see some drama, some fun or entertainment going on somewhere else, and hey, let me also join friends. Once you know that particular hour, you have to work. Okay, so in breaking the poverty cycle, you really have to be self-disciplined. Financially, your time management, and every sector that you can talk of, you have to be disciplined. The third on my list today, you educate yourself. Yes, you have to educate yourself in order to be comfortable or be able to provide for yourself in this 21st century, especially. How do you educate yourself? Education is not always about sitting in classrooms or going to the normal education, climbing the normal education ladder that we know. No. You learn from day-to-day activities. You can then have a role model. We have a whole lot of people doing well in this society or in this 21st century. You can have a role model, learn from their experience, learn from their mistakes. So if they tell you, I did A, B, C, D, and it worked perfectly well, but E, F, G, H was something I regret doing. Okay, you put them together. If he did this and it didn't work, he did this and it worked. You analyze all of them. Sometimes something can work for someone and may not work for you, and at the same time it may work for the other and may not work for you. So you analyze it and you learn for yourself. So you can learn from different people as much as possible. You also learn from other experiences, from what goes on around us. You can learn from books. Now that the internet is available to each and everyone, especially, you can also learn from the internet. Not just visiting all sites, but you can learn things specifically to your profession or to your career. You get to educate yourself. You get to educate yourself. Previously, before a cameraman could capture national events or like international events, they need a parrot to aid them. But today, no, all these people are not needed anymore. Okay, so even in your profession, you have to always equip yourself with current knowledge, with current skills. So you have to always make sure you learn. As I said earlier, not always sitting in the classroom to learn, but make yourself relevant. Make yourself relevant in every situation. You know, sometimes you can be okay, you can be comfortable, but you can, in a short while, go bankrupt and you join the poverty line or family again. Okay, so as an individual, you always have to be relevant. You equip yourself with knowledge, with skills. Now we are using artificial intelligence. You say you are an IT expert and you can't use any of this artificial intelligence in this 21st century. Hey, how are you learning? How relevant are you? Okay, so yes, sometimes with even this, your MPhil, MA, with all the degrees, you always have to upgrade yourself. You have to upgrade yourself. As I said, I'm an IT expert in this 21st century, and you don't know how to use any of this artificial intelligence. You don't know even basic things in IT because you graduated maybe 10 years back, 20 years back. And how do you cope with your employer? Definitely you will soon go home. Okay, and even if you are doing your own business or you are managing your own affairs, like you have your own skill and you have to learn customer service. You shouldn't always learn from book, but hey, I did this to customer ABC, he or she wasn't pleased, so the next time I have to do this, so that my customers will keep coming. Okay, so you have to always learn, and you have to learn and learn well, and learn some skills on how to survive on your own. My point number 4: work smart than you work hard. Yes, work smart than you work hard. Why am I saying this? We have 24 hours in a day, and you work 8 hours a day. What happens to the rest of the hours? You are two people. You, after the 8 hours working, you go home, watch movies, have fun, and all that. But this a colleague of yours can learn a skill or can have a part-time work somewhere else, which will also bring another form of income. Okay, so if you know that you work from maybe 10 a.m., 10 a.m. you have from 6 a.m. to 10 or 4 a.m. to 10, depending on when you wake up. You can rush and do some part-time 1 hour business, some service to get an extra income than sitting at the office from 8 a.m. whilst you know work starts at 10, or you are not going to get any bonus going to work that early. So why do you have to go and sit there 2-3 hours just to waste the time whilst you can learn a skill or do a particular service or something to gain something extra, or even work after during break hours? You can even work because we now have most of this service we render online that can fetch us extra income. You can even do that during your break hours, if only to be convenient, and even after work. So you have to work smart, not only work hard. So you work smarter than you work hard. You calculate your time. If I can work from 4 a.m. to 9:30 as an extra something, and then 30 minutes I prepare, I go to work whilst I will not be late, you can work within those hours, and it will really help you. And one bonus that I'm sharing with you today is make use of the resources available. Make use of the resources available, because sometimes you want to start, for example, a detergent or a liquid soap production, but you don't have the money to afford equipment and all that. Okay, use the normal bowls that you have at home, normal equipment and things that is available to you, and it will really help. And sometimes you have to relocate from one place to the other. You have to change location so that your business could flourish. So make it a point to start something. Make it a point to break that poverty cycle, for you are not poor. I'm Obaya Ejapuma. I know you've learned something from this. Thanks for watching and subscribe.